Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Justin vs. Justin. This is Justin with an E.
And this is Justin with an I.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the live episodes. We're back.
I know, it feels great to be back.
Feels like we haven't done this in forever.
I know. It's been crazy. Like, just so much stuff has happened in between. And
I know. I took a vacation, and it was nice.
Yeah.
Nice little reset. So we got a lot for you on tonight's episode. We got that, and we have a special guest that's going to be on the show today.
That's right. We've got our friend Ed Avil Graves Avery, who's going to be joining us tonight via satellite or cell phone, whatever.
He'll be joining us
I don't know how they do it.
He'll be joining us via telephone.
Yeah,
through the magics of the internet and telephone. Interwebbing telephones.
It's gonna be interesting. So
so should we try to get him on the phone?
let's give him a shot.
Let's see if we can get him on the phone. Let's see if we catch him in a time of, he's in the bathroom. Or
He literally just said he was going to the bathroom, so this is hilarious. I think it'll be even funnier if he's like, no, I missed it.
Oh, wait, we're getting feedback says they can't hear him.
Oh, you can't hear him. Oh, no.
Let's see what's going on.
Well, basically, he's just making hilarious jokes that you can't hear.
Yeah, let's see what's going on here.
Nobody can hear me right now, huh?
I guess
Oh,
not.
hey, I got another phone call coming in. Hey, brother, I'm live.
Let's see.
Well, podcasting isn't an exact science, is it?
So you can't hear me, so I should just start singing the blues.
You should, because apparently, we're getting some technical difficulties today.
Nah.
I hate technical difficulties.
Well, we can hear you at very least, so I don't know. We're going to try to mess with some switches and dials and see what we can do. But, Ed...
The big red button on, does it say?
Oh, they're saying they can hear him now.
Yay. Yeah. Hey, since the audience can hear you, why don't you introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about yourself?
Tell me who you are. Tell me what your daddy does.
What does he do?
Well, what I am, who my daddy used to do. What are we talking about? All right. I don't know if you caught the beginning part of everything, but thank you. Let me just say thank you first for Justin for having me on your podcast. Yes, I wrestle as Avil Graves, and I do more than just that. I'm also a martial arts instructor, have been for
good number of years.
Say half of 28 years.
Yep.
Do the math. I've been doing the martial arts for 28 years, and I moonlight as a pro wrestler. Now, having said that, getting into the pro wrestling world, I was about 17, going on 18, but I had a little bit of, I got my teeth cut, if you will, at about 16.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin, you may remember this guy. I won't even want to say his name because I don't want to do him the grace of putting him over. But I will say this.
Bark Hampstead's best. There is a former WWE wrestler that actually helped train him.
Okay.
And, he was based out of Bark Hampstead, Connecticut.
I like him. He's good. There was a few of them. There's former ECW guys as well, some of them who got their jobs back in 99, 2001, 2002, some of them who did not. And all I can say is it was like a family, being a young man, coming in, with a little bit of information as how to defend myself in that ring,
Mm-hmm.
and then getting in that ring and just testing myself and others to see what I was made out of and what they were made out of. I made a lot of friends. I would like to think that I've influenced just as many enemies, call them frenemies, if you will. But that's my story, and I've been pretty much doing that my whole life. And, I'm not the biggest. I'm not the strongest. I might not be the smartest, and if I am, don't tell anybody. But I like to roll, and if someone's going to challenge me, which, by the way, quick signal, October 6th, I've been challenged. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But that's where it's at. I like a good fight for a good reason, and I don't really like to pull any strings or punches. I'm pretty genuine with my compliments as I am genuine with my insults. So take that.
And you're a gentle kisser as well.
Whoa! Hey-o!
I've heard.
He's a gentleman lover.
Yes.
I do show a little compassion from time to time.
I heard that you were heavily insolent.
I'm sorry, I don't remember kissing your mother.
Oh. Well, she remembers, and Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
It's all good. So notably, one of the highlights that I would like to say is that with some of the ECW guys, I attended a match in which you faced Justen Credible, another Justin. So
There's a third Justen. I know.
there's a few of us kicking around. So, but
They're all amazing.
do you want to talk about that experience?
Actually, I would. Because Just Incredible has been one of the nicest people I have ever met in this business. And saying that, you don't get to say that about people. Justen and I have had a little bit of history in the back. And by the way, I just want to say I have no prior knowledge of the questions that are being asked of me tonight. But no, I have no further knowledge of these questions being asked. So anybody who gets mentioned, is totally, this is off the cuff. Just Incredible, Pete Polacco is a fantastic guy. He always made me feel good. He was a good friend with my trainer, Jason Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And what else can I say? I look at him kind of like one of my college professors. It was that age as a young man's life, and people you're meeting. And he was and he is where everyone wanted to be, and he was at the top of his game. And he's always at the top of his game, even on a bad day. If you let him, he'll steal the show. So I liked that. And he made me feel real good that night. Beat the crap out of me, threw me through a table. We didn't have any outside.
Just to let you know, Nightmare is listening, so you better tell the truth.
Say it again. Nightmare is listening. Oh,
Nightmare, shout out to Nightmare.
How you doing? Watch out. He's another dangerous one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin, I got a question for you now.
Which Justin?
Yeah, you got to specify here.
Well, there's two of you, but like also there's two of me, so I can talk to either one of you, and we'll all have a good time. Why did you really want to get me on this show? What exactly about my brain did you want to pick and have me on your show? I mean, I appreciate it, but let's get down to brass taxes. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Where are we going with this, my man?
So, I pulled you on here because you are one of the comic book fanatics that I recall from growing up. You and me talking about action figures, comic books. You were a Magic card guy. We met years ago. I think the day that we met, I got into a fist fight at a place called Kevin's Comics.
That is absolutely correct. I remember it fondly.
Yes.
Can you say his name?
I don't even know that kid's name. It's like Nick or something. I don't know. But yeah, he took a swing at me because of something that another guy named Jay said, and I ducked his punch like Neo from The Matrix, and then just proceeded to beat this kid senseless.
Just the right moment to catch out of my right eye what was going on.
Yeah, it was funny.
I believe it's even on VHS from the store's security camera.
It is. Actually, it was featured on Faces of Death 3.
You hit that kid so hard his skull fell out his ass.
Yeah.
First, people. Justin Cooper did it first.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. But
Kevin says he still has the video.
Oh God, I could imagine. Yeah, I think I've seen it. So, but yeah,
we've all seen it.
You are a knowledge of wrestling and from especially the past wrestlers and all that, so you know that, and that's pretty much right up our alley where we've got our partners, the Duo Finds,
Yeah, the Duo Finds,
who have come on the show several times before. They're big into wrestling, so I thought that would be a nice segue. And how many times have you and I just shot the shit about Batman or Wolverine or anybody, Booster Gold, all of them. So I figured get you on here. We could talk about some Week of Geek.
Love the chance, and I do love that you have this comics amalgamation thing. We've had
Amalgamania
in the past, getting on comics amalgamation and just having a good time on Facebook with people that share similar interests. Whether it be wrestling or comics. And personally, I've always found that comic books and he has a chance to go ahead and live out loud and be who they want to be and say what they want to say. And
well, almost.
So
Yeah.
Well, I know that you're a big fan of comics because you were the only one that I recall that actually bought the Kiss comic.
Yes, I did. I was a Kiss Army card-carrying member. I was a fan.
Do you like Kiss? Are you into Kiss?
I was.
I know your mother does.
Every once in a while, I get something from Ed, and usually it's a picture of him having killed a water snake and skinned it with a sword and making it into nuggets. This is a true story.
You, huh?
Yeah. Yes, you did.
Snake nuggets, delicious. Boil them in oil.
Yar.
I'll have to try.
It's fine, but when it starts to get a big snake, his spine gets a little crunchy after a while. So just watch out.
It's one of those things where you sometimes you have a feeling about one of your friends that he might actually be a pirate. But he doesn't know it yet. But I've always kind of felt that way, you know. He does wear puffy shirts, too, and you can't even deny that.
It's funny you say that.
Yeah.
I do have a little family history of piracy. No, not everybody's a fucking thief. Actually, I come from reverends on the German side and naval captains on the English side. But that's what I mean.
Well, no one who speaks German could be evil.
Captain John Henry Avery, somewhere in my family tree, he's like my 6th or 7th great grandfather. Even Billy Shakes, we call him Billy Shakes, but you know him as William Shakespeare. He wrote a playwright about my grandfather called The Arch Pirate, Captain John Henry Avery.
Is that a true story, or is this one of your favorite Ed Avery stories?
Is this a tall tale, as they say?
Well, it's a family story.
Oh.
I mean, there's other ones, but this is, I think, one of the better of my family names. And yes, that's a legitimate history lesson.
A pirate angel.
Yeah, he's a. he does. Yeah, look like Thor a bit.
In Madagascar, mine diamonds, which is funny. My little tip of the hat to my family name. I always get a giggle because Somalia is over there, and every time we hear about Somali pirates, I'm like, really, still in this day and age? And I just giggle a little bit. I wonder how much piracy has been going on in that area of the world.
You're gonna say it, or I'm gonna say it. I'm sure.
What?
Somali pirate.
I giggle a bit.
I'm the captain now.
Oh, I am the captain now. Well, yeah, no, my weekend geek wasn't too geeky, and then I came home, and I went and saw the Happy Time Murders.
Nice. Now, Ed, have you heard of this one?
I have. I can't wait. I actually am taking lessons right now on how to speak and write Puppish, which is, as you know, the official language of puppet fabricated Americans, is what they prefer to be called. Yes, I haven't seen the movie, but I'm looking forward to it.
All I can say is, after seeing this movie, I can't watch a Muppet movie anymore. After the things I've seen,
we won't go into spoilers because it is a brand new movie, and like Ed says, he hadn't seen it yet. But I will tell you, the thing that shocked me about this is that it was produced by Brian Henson and directed by Brian Henson.
You mean Jim Henson?
Jim Henson's son. Jim Henson is long dead.
Oh, I don't remember.
He died during the second Ninja Turtles movie, so over 30 years ago. You know, like Ed back in the day. I mean, what made you get into martial arts?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Here's a shoot. Sitting on the couch as a young kid watching R-rated movies with my dad while my mother was saying, "Don't let him watch that. It's going to mess him up. He's going to be violent."
Don't say Steven Seagal. Don't say Steven Seagal.
I love my mother. Don't get me wrong. She didn't always sound like that. But she wouldn't let me watch the fucking Simpsons either. What was wrong with the Simpsons when it came out? Bart and Homer are choking each other. Like, whatever. So anyway, my dad's sitting there, and he's telling me what type of firearm is in the villain's hand, what gun the good guy is shooting. Every movie we always watched, he knew every single firearm. Justin, you're laughing because you know my old man.
Yep.
And
Coach Ditka himself looked just like Coach Ditka.
And he was so knowledgeable about, whatever it happened to be. I know it was a movie, it was entertainment, but I got knowledgeable about the kicking scenes and the fighting scenes, and I was like, Dad, he could never do that in real life. That's a movie. And there were some
The
other
Quest was shit.
Martial arts movies-wise, I'll admit, we liked watching Steven Seagal. That shit was
I knew it.
The Steven Seagal is shit.
early 90s. What did we know? We all got on the Seagal bandwagon. This was before the internet. Big budget Hollywood 90s movies, ranking right up there with Kevin Costner, doing his shtick, and Steven Seagal.
All right, I can't go into it, but my love of Waterworld is well documented.
I went there for you.
Yeah.
So now, Justin, you did martial arts as well.
Yes.
Right? You
Yeah.
did martial arts for a while. What style did you take?
Well, I've done years of Tai Chi, I've done karate, and I've done jujitsu, and
There you go. There you go. That's some good stuff. Internal as
a
well.
bit of Muay Thai as well.
Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
That one hurt a lot.
You took a medal or a place in a tournament.
Probably. I don't remember.
Didn't you?
Oh yeah, no, I did for yeah. I felt like Kramer a little bit. I had to fight since I was not quite 35, I had to fight like the 18 and up until 35 division. So I did actually have to fight, and I was fighting 19-year-olds, and holy shit, are 19-year-olds fast? I'll tell you. So
Slow down there, whippersnapper. I'm trying to get you.
But the funny thing about fighting 19-year-olds as a 34-year-old is they are way impatient. So every time that they would throw a punch, I would throw a counter punch or a counter kick or something like that, and they could not figure me out. And I'm like, dude, I just punched you in the face. I'm like, because you punched and I punched over it. So yeah, there's a difference that comes with experience.
Exactly. Intercepting an attack is part of having some experience in whether it be self-defense or fight sport, either way. And good self-defense can be utilized anywhere, whether in the ring or on the street, if you can intercept an attack. Absolutely. Best offense,
definitely words to live by.
Fucking offense, really.
I don't know. I mean, you're the Steven Seagal fan here. What would you do if you met Steven Seagal?
Just high-five him. Maybe, ask him if he wants to get a bite to eat.
He definitely wants to get a bite to eat.
Or play some blues. Just hang out, be a real person. That's all.
Is there a super group out there with Steven Seagal,
sure there is.
Bruce Willis, and Russell Crowe in it?
I'm sure there is.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends. Let's see.
Hello, everyone.
Hello to Matt from the Duo Finds.
Oh, Matt Quinnen.
He
has joined, and he is a big wrestling fan, so Matt should chime in. He just actually went and saw the All In at Sears Center.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Said it was a great show.
All in.
Really good show.
They sold out in less than a half an hour, I heard.
Now, you've met a lot of these guys, and you've probably worked with a lot of these guys, right?
I say that I've met the ones that were on All In. Forgive me, I don't know everybody that was on the show. I don't know the card or what was on it. I didn't see it.
Well, there's a pretty fun experience that I like to talk about when you and I met your hero, if you recall, Mick Foley.
Oh, God.
That was a fun experience. This was the first time you met him, right?
I wouldn't call him my hero, but you would. I know you would say that I would think that he was my hero.
Back in the day, he was your hero.
I can see the smile on your face, Cooper.
Yeah. I know. But back in the day, I would say he was your hero.
When you watch somebody and you get emotionally attached to what they are putting out there themselves, I'll tell you honestly,
I agree.
I'm not going to model my career against anybody, but Mick Foley, I think a lot of people in the wrestling world just looked at a guy and said, he's not the biggest physique. He's one of the greatest talkers, I think, of a good generation of wrestling fans. And, he just meant what he said, and he could back it up, bottom line. It was believable.
He was pretty big, though.
It
made
him tough. And
what do you think he was, like 6'3"?
Like fucking Rubbermaid tough, bounce back and keep going. And it shocked the shit out of a lot of people, some of the stuff he did at that time. And it wasn't crazy hardcore. It was just a fight. And he got himself into a fight, and he got himself out of that damn fight.
Yep.
Yeah. Mick Foley liked
he had
you
this
better, Justin, than he liked me. I remember that.
Well,
You're just saying, fat people look alike.
It was one of those things. I don't know that he liked me or anything like that, but I showed up in the silly shirt that I must have been the only guy that bought. It said Testicular Fortitude on it. And, he's like, don't you feel silly wearing that shirt?
Testicular Fortitude shirt in the 300 or 400, 500 people that were there that day.
Yeah, I was the only guy. Yeah.
Yep.
I like to point that I bought that at the Wrestling Zone in Meriden, Connecticut, which does not exist anymore. Yeah, that was fun. I think I was the only person that actually spent money there.
So as our special guest, what would you say to people trying to get into wrestling?
Oh, great question.
I would say you better know how to defend yourself in that ring. I would say bottom line, if you're trying to get into wrestling these days for the glory or the glamour or the glitz, call it whatever you will, if you want to think that you want to be a pro wrestler and you know nothing of the mat game, if you don't know how to wrestle, okay, or jiu-jitsu, or box, or run 5 miles, okay? If you're not athletic, if you don't have, you could be a brain. Don't get me wrong. You can be smart, and you could maybe add something to the show. But if you want to get into pro wrestling, learn how to fucking wrestle.
Okay.
And I say that with no shame. I say that right now. If you're in a fight with me, and you punch me or you kick me or you grab me, and you sit there and you look around and you're trying to play or you run a fucking rope, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, okay? And I'm going to do it very kindly, and I'm going to talk to you while I do it. But you're going to get hit, you're going to get grabbed, you're going to get outclassed. And I say that, no pride, no shame, but the world in 2018 thinks pro wrestling is fake. There's a lot of us out there that still believe that if you're going to get in the ring with me, I'm going to out-wrestle you. And if you can out-wrestle me, if you can make me blow up and get tired and pin me or make me submit, that's a fucking wrestling match. None of this, and I understand people say there's the three-ring circus. You got something for everybody, a serious lion tamer shit over here, and your funny clown car stuff over there, and, you know, that's fine. You know, well, Top Hat being what the Top Hat is, he's got to run control of something, of a show, and send people home happy. But
is that an industry term?
Should know how to fight first. They should know how to defend themselves first.
Is Top Hat like JR?
I think you should go to some classes and
must be right.
Learn how to fight. That's what I would say, because without that, someone's going to take offense, maybe, and you might be outclassed one day, and just the way the business goes. But I would say don't go into pro wrestling thinking it is fake and fixed, and you know, you can do these.
That's a lot of likes, dude.
I don't want to talk about anybody in the business out there, indie or professional. Everyone's got their thing, and the fans love it. But there's a pure art form, Justin. There's a pure art form.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Ed.
People just forget because they go into it. The fans, they think it's fake.
Ed, give me a sec here.
Go in there and out wrestle each other and beat each other up. They don't got to bloody each other up with chairs and get crazy. I'm talking about a wrestling match, wrestling holds. You know, get out there and show how tough you are, and you know, check your ego when you wipe your feet on the mat. And
all right, but before you go into the virtues of how Dean Malenko is the greatest of all time, Ed, who would you say is really good right now? Who's a guy that really has it together that's fun to watch? Who do you like? It could be indie, it could be pro, whatever you like. You, besides you. That's why we had you on the show, because we know you're the shit.
I've been working exclusively with Roger Smith, IWCW, Independent World Class Wrestling.
Can we see Roger Smith on there?
Where you can find it all.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Without a doubt, we've got some great talent. And
hey, shout out to Roger Smith.
For even more great talent.
In Nightmare.
As who's on TV, forgive me, I really don't watch a lot of WWE, but I know guys like Braun Strowman are on top. Guys like Roman Reigns have been there for a while. I guess they're bringing back the Shield. So there's your mainstream marketing going on. I'm still a big fan of some other indie guys just because they don't need to go on WWE. They still believe in that whole territory idea, and as do I. Territories are just now global, I think, instead of just national. We're pushing it now. It's a new generation, and you know. So I'm a fan of the Japanese
like the ladies.
wrestlers. I'm a fan of
I got into wrestling for the ladies.
And you know, as far as who's the best out there, I don't know. I mean, good day, bad day. I've worked with a lot of people that are great and will probably be never heard of. And I've worked with people that I personally think suck. I may get along with them in the back room or not in the ring at all, but you know what? They're out there doing it. So, you know, everybody's got a niche. It's just whether they grasp for it and do it. You know, make the best out of it. You know, go for it. Promote yourself. I can't say one guy or the other. I can say there's some boys locally here down in Virginia area. You got the great guys like Mike Mars coming out of Jimmy Valiant's Boogie Woogie Camp.
And I loved him in Motley Crue.
Mike Mars is fantastic, and he's a beast. He's I don't want to think. No, just look him up. Mike Mars. Okay. He's on Facebook, and he's a monster. He's great. He looks like Jason Momoa. No shit. Want to say that this guy's a great, but he's a man to beat. That's for damn sure. He's a man to beat. His name is Joseph von Schmidt.
He's a man to beat.
He's
sorry, that's me being 13.
He's the man that beat me off.
Did he beat you off? You know, off the mat. Did he beat you off the mat?
No, he didn't beat me off. And he wouldn't. He couldn't.
He could.
It would be you're a little too slippery.
Well, I mean, there's a difference too, and as we were going back to talking about how you're saying that some people think it's not real, I'm going to tell you it's like you remember I did a little bit of training with you as well, so and we certainly had our arena. I would describe professional wrestling as you're only allowed to use certain moves, so you can't flat out punch someone in the face. You've got to find another way to beat them. So that's how I would say about it. Because trust me, if you put a pumpkin on someone's head and hit them with your elbow, they're going to feel it.
That's right.
That happened.
That comes from experience.
Our show takes some weird turns
Well,
sometimes.
I know they're there, but I have none. I got nothing. Him as all of his different characters he's acted over the years. Do you have him as the acting governor? Do you have the Governator in that list?
Actually,
the Governator versus
that was just brought up.
Yeah.
maybe the Governator versus the 1970s Pumping Iron him?
Well, I would like to point out that there's a whole championship grid. So we're just trying to get through one side
See, we're going movie characters here. That's real Arnold. So maybe we'll have a real Arnold.
He did play the governor in one movie. So he is on record as playing the governor.
And Pumping Iron was a movie.
What movie was
And
that?
Pumping Iron was a movie, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Documentaries.
There's also Hercules in New York.
If you're going documentaries.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
documentaries, movies, they're all somebody's home movie is being shared, whatever.
Yeah, wasn't he also in Beyond the Mat talking about Andre the Giant?
Was Arnold Schwarzenegger in Beyond the Mat?
I don't. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
I know he's definitely talked about training with Odd Job and Andre the Giant.
Odd Job, Harold Sakata.
Oh, cool. Was that was he? He was a wrestler too, right?
Yes, he was actually. It's funny you mentioned him because he's in the branch of Kempo in the family tree of martial arts. He is acquaintances or so, or is. Forgive me, I'm not that old, but some of the old timers I know talk about him.
Nice.
My martial arts instructor, a friend of mine, talks about him fondly. So yeah, but there was a lot of martial artists back in the day. Dawning of the television.
So you've had a long and storied career as a martial arts. Absolutely. So
well, we appreciate it, sir.
Yeah. No. Thanks for being on. Everyone that's listening, thank you for coming out and supporting. Ed, where can we find you?
You can find me. Thank you very much. You can find me on Facebook. Facebook under Edward Avil Graves. Avery. You can find me on YouTube, which is www.youtube.com/user/.
Thanks for that. Okay.
Or you can check out IWCW Pro Wrestling. There's a website, which is actually a Wix site, IWCW Pro Wrestling.
John Wick.
.com. On there, you can check out more of Roger Smith, known as Dirty Rhodes, very famous. Unsung hero of the pro wrestling world, and very lucky to have been met him and work with him exclusively. You could also check out on Facebook.com/IWCW Pro Wrestling. We have a show October 6th in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and there'll be more on that throughout the coming month. There's a card already posted. Like I said earlier in the night, I have been challenged, and well, I just hope that guy's ready. You heard me talk already before about this. Let's face it. I'm not going to try to put myself over even more, but I believe his name is Carvin Canyon.
Carvin Canyon, like the Colorado River? They carved a canyon?
If you're listening to this, Carvin, I don't know who you are, but you challenged me. So I want you to remember something. Bring your A game. Get ready, okay? Because I'm always ready, okay? And I love what I do, okay?
Strong words. The gauntlet has been thrown, so...
I don't know him well enough to insult him yet, but he challenged me, so I take it as an honor and a privilege, and we're going to get it. We're going to hit it hard, baby, October 6th. That's what I mean. I don't know this guy from a hole in the wall, but if he wants to take on me, he obviously thinks very highly of me, so I'll take that as a compliment. Just bring your A game, and maybe I'll give you a compliment as well.
Nice.
Nightmare said you did okay today.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, where can we find Nightmare? Nightmare's awesome.
Nightmare, plug it. Nightmare's on Facebook. Just type it in.
Nice.
Terry Lawrence, good man, but I won't spread that around.
Yeah, we get this element of competition from you, but that's great. So you said IWCW it is?
IWCW, Independent World Class Wrestling. We bring you the best. Expect nothing less.
So
Check
it's not just a clever name.
Like it, subscribe, share, follow, whatever you got to do. There's some videos of IWCW on my YouTube page as well.
Okay.
Not of me, but of some other great work that the company has produced and put out. Started in 2016, late 2016, and have already run 5 or 6 states. They
Impressive.
got a good following. We're having a better following. We may even take this international before long. Like I said, check out Roger Smith, known as Dirty Rhodes, through over the years. He was also under Hood. For all you internet marks out there, he was under Hood. I'm using pro wrestling terminology now. Wink, wink.
Under the Red Hood?
He was part of the Assassins. He was part of the Interns. He was part of the Fire and Flame, most famously in Memphis. Worked with the greats, created some of the greats. And when I say created some of the greats, mark my words, his last name was Rhodes.
Yeah, no, I got that.
And what are we walking? We're talking about All In these days. Who's the biggest thing talking? Who's the biggest family name in pro wrestling today, right now? We're talking Rhodes. Okay? So, originator.
Nice. And, the American Dream was always a favorite of mine with that elbow that he had.
You loved Dusty, didn't you?
Dusty was great. And to be honest with you, Gold Dust too. So Gold Dust was entertaining to watch. And I tell you, that guy wrestled a lot longer than I thought.
It was strange. He was a movie fan. If you remember when he came in 93, 94, he used to do those movie bits.
Had that
before
big white wig. Gold
Dust.
Dust.
Or whatever he did, and he'd drop movie lines and quotes. I used to love that. What a great way to introduce yourself.
He had a gimmick that must have gone as long as like The Undertaker or something along those lines. I mean, it's like, is he still doing it?
I bet he is.
Yeah, Dustin Reynolds.
Calls for him. I mean, let's face it, we're all getting older. Everybody gets older, but I know I myself, I'd be doing this till I was 70 or later if I still could.
Oh, look at Ric Flair. I mean,
head on the pillow at night and raise it up early in the morning, and I don't feel a crack in my back, I'll get in that ring.
That's awesome, dude. And I mean, you are one of the few people that I know from childhood that actually has gotten to live his dream, which is incredibly commendable. I mean, obviously us with the podcast.
I can just say that,
We're living the dream.
In response to that, to anybody out there who says that they want to be something or says they want to do something or even just has an inkling to like it, okay, if you have the ability to think it, okay, you start thinking it, eventually you might start doing it. And if you start doing it, you got to have to that crossroads where you accept who you are after a while. And if you can accept who you are after a while, by hook, crook, or by sinker, I say, it's okay to go out of your way to be a bastard sometimes and get what you need in life. Maybe not what you want, but you get what you need in life.
So that was a mixture of Walt Disney.
Always get what you want.
You're a big fan of the Rolling Stones, I can tell.
But you get what you need.
That's that's great advice, and I think that's important for people to understand that it's like, yeah, you do have to make sacrifices to get where you're going.
Can't be too prideful or too shameful, really.
Yeah, no, I mean we have very little shame. It's I ordered some more. It's coming in the mail. But it's been a pleasure to have you.
Yes, thank you for joining the show.
Your mic skills are number one.
Great fun. I love it.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome back anytime.
Yeah, you can find us on iTunes.
We got one thing here, Nightmare.
Yep.
He said, look him up on Facebook. Look forward to the next podcast. Always check out Jimmy Valiant. So it's JIMMYVALIANT.Webley, WEEBLY.com.
That's fantastic. Absolutely. Anything we can ever do to help.
You can check out Mike Mars. I mentioned him earlier as far as being one of the more tougher competitors out there, especially in this southern territory, if you will.
You said he was the man to beat.
He's one of them.
Yep.
He's one of them. He's a young guy. He's coming up in the ranks, though. Let me tell you. I mean, he's impressive to watch, and he's a beast. He's amazing. He's quiet, and you got to watch out for guys who are quiet. Not like me. I fucking blab my mouth all the time.
Like Budnick.
But you got to watch out for those quiet ones because when they do open up, it's usually pretty physical.
Nice. So he's a regular David Batista with talent.
God bless it. I couldn't compare him to necessarily anyone. I don't want to go ahead and say shades of this guy or feels like this. It's too confusing. Just go watch it, make a judgment call for yourself, and he's a good one to pay attention to, I think.
All right. Well, going back to this, Justin, where can you find us?
He's like, you're done. You're cut off. All right. Well,
keep it going.
Yeah, you will.
Well, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We don't tweet much, so you can go on there and find us, but we don't we're not on there. YouTube, iTunes, iHeartRadio. We're a little slacking on getting the posting up there, but we're going to get on it. Yeah.
He's been on vacation.
It's been
okay.
busy. I was out in the woods. Internet wasn't great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming in this week and watching us again. Thank you for all the. We had a lot of interaction this week. It was good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I'm very glad for our guest Ed Avery.
Yeah, special thanks to our special guest there.
Thank you very much for having me again.
Oh no problem.
Brown nosing now. Get your nose out of my butt, Justin. Come on.
Well, we're trying to get a.
The pleasure's all on this side.
Yeah, we want some snake nuggets. So.
I do. I want you to mail some snake nuggets.
He will do it. Don't even tempt him. He will frickin' do it.
Okay, I go up to Chicago. If you find me a snake, we'll cook.
Deep dish snake nuggets.
Here, you have to kill it yourself.
So you got to remember, I'm a hillbilly. I'll try it.
Yeah, no, I've had snake. It's okay. I prefer frog.
Oh, I've had rattlesnake.
Have you really?
Yes.
Huh. I've had alligator.
I've had alligator too. It's like spicy chicken.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's good meat.
They have in Turkey.
It reminds me of your mother. Spicy and tasty.
Until next time, be sure to check out the Arnold bracket, and thank you everyone for watching.
Yep, check out the polls, and we'll catch you guys next Tuesday.
I am Justin with an I.
And I'm Justin with an E.
And you were watching Justin versus Justin. Have a good night.
Oh, wait, hold on. Our special guest, he didn't get to sign out.
Okay, and signing out.
I'm Avil Graves.
You sound like a newscast.
Avil Graves dead today.
That might happen. You may be doing the obituary for me if I ever go soon. Please say something nice at my funeral.
Oh, okay. Well,
he was a lovely guest on the show.
I'd be like, he had the greatest mullet I've ever known.
I'm feeling verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, no kidding. So Mike Mars is also a comic artist, so we'll have to maybe talk to him at some point too.
Yes.
Yes.
That part.
Yes.
I get a little excited when people say yes.
You are correct, sir.
Nice, big man.
Hey-oo. All right.
All right, if we don't cut it off now, we'll never leave.
Yeah, we're going to be here all night if we don't cut it off now. So thank you, and tune in next week. Have a good one.
All right, have a good one, guys.